What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be talking about in this update is a little bit of kind of the price action that we've seen since Jerome Powell came out on Wednesday with his remarks. We're going to be talking about a little bit of the Ortex data on both AMC and GME, but there's been something very interesting that's been released from Goldman Sachs over the last 48 hours. Now, they are getting investigated based on their activities in their own dark pool. It's called Sigma, but there's something a little bit in there that some people are missing that Goldman Sachs has said, specifically revolving around the investigation of them violating some short sale rules. Now, to put this kind of into perspective for some of you guys, Goldman Sachs is kind of the largest prime brokerage operation at the current time, meaning that they are facilitating a lot of these transactions for large hedge funds. What this means is that they are providing a lot of leverage. What that also means is the loaning out of shares. Now, we've said this many times, but in my opinion, the hedge funds aren't really the main problem with this situation. It's more the people who are allowing these naked short sales to go through and the limiting of the price discovery in these off-exchange trading venues such as a dark pool and how these market makers are manipulating their orders. So the fact that this is happening with Goldman Sachs right now and they've disclosed this to the public is really interesting, and that's what we're going to be breaking down for the majority of this video. And then we're going to be talking about some more of the liquidation situations that we've seen across the broad market. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, guys, you've seen the amount of success that people have been having with the 1348 trading strategy. If you want those 40 private live streams every single month, alerts on over 850 stocks, and the private trading algorithm, make sure you hit that link down below in the description and check it out. So at the current time that I'm recording, again, I am on vacation right now. I did just graduate college. We are seeing AMC down a decent amount today. Now, the overall market is kind of freaking out. It's at 1394 right now, down about 5.1%. The overall market is not having a whole lot of fun. We are seeing a lot of overall volatility. Now, the other thing that we kind of need to think about on why we're seeing what we're seeing with the market right now is think back to what we heard from Jerome Powell on Wednesday. He said they're not really thinking about a 75 basis point hike. In addition, he's also not really seeing any signs of a recession, and he also commented on the overall public's view of the Fed credibility. Now, when Powell comes out and makes statements like that are overly bullish, and then the next couple of days you see the overall market fall very significantly, there is zero faith in the overall ability of the Fed to really do anything. And it also kind of shows us that the Fed really can't do anything right now to kind of slow down the situation that they've created over the last 2 years. Now, when we come over to some of the Ortex data right here, we've got 19.13% estimated short interest on specifically AMC. We have 2.2% average cost to borrow, 2.32% max, with about 98 million shares estimated to be shorted right now into the overall market. Now, when we come over to GameStop right here and we take a look at these numbers over here, 19.37% estimated short interest, about 5.1 minimum percent cost to borrow, 6.45% average, and 7.94% max. Now, again, let's briefly kind of give a little bit of an overview of kind of what's going on with just Goldman Sachs' overall prime broker operations. So this is an article from, I believe, back in 2019 from Prime Brokerage Survey. Goldman Sachs remains the top, but the lead narrows. So Goldman Sachs is facilitating a lot of these transactions in the larger transactions of the finance market. So if a big firm, a hedge fund, needs to get leverage on a position, they're going to go to a large institution such as Goldman Sachs in order to do this. Now, securities lending, we've seen this many times, is a giant portion of a lot of these big bank revenues. Now, coming over to this article right here, it's a very interesting article if you guys want to take a look. It's all over Twitter right now. It's probably all over Reddit as well. But Goldman Sachs says its dark pools are under investigation along with about everything else the firm does. So when we come down a little bit further here, the name of Goldman Sachs dark pool that trades in the U.S. is called Sigma X2. It used to be called simply Sigma X. According to publicly available documents, Sigma X is now used by Goldman Sachs to designate the dark pools it operates in foreign jurisdictions, which include Europe, Japan, Hong Kong, and Australia. So they have multiple of these off-exchange trading venues. So when we come down a little bit further and kind of take a look, so there's a couple of other statements made in here in this article. It talks about Flash Boys, which is actually a really good book by Michael Lewis, the same author of The Big Short. If you guys have not read that book yet, that's kind of one of the first books that I read that kind of got me into thinking about dark pools and kind of this market making situation that we have in the market right now. Make sure you guys check that out as well. But coming down a little bit further, as for the other areas in which Goldman Sachs is under a government investigation or named as a defendant in a lawsuit, their 10Q filing offers this. So there's a very large section right here, but the most important, in my opinion, is going to be this section down here. The offering, auction, sales, trading, and clearance of corporate and government securities, currencies, commodities, and other financial products and related sales and other communication and activities, as well as the firm's supervision and controls relating to such activities, including compliance with applicable short sale rules, algorithmic, high frequency, and quantitative trading. The key word there is those short sale rules. When they are loaning out shares, they're supposed to meet what is called locate requirements. If you do not locate the shares that you're supposed to in order to send those out on loan, it technically doesn't matter because the NSCC, the National Securities Clearing Corporation, will guarantee any transaction to make sure that it actually goes through. So it's possible for a lot of these prime brokers and whoever is facilitating these transactions to actually naked short and actually have those trades go through, which is why we're in the situations that we are in right now. The firm's U.S. alternative trading system, dark pool, futures trading, let's see here, options trading, when issued trading, transaction reporting. It's going over essentially every single aspect of Goldman Sachs business right here. And then we come down here, insider trading, the potential misuse and dissemination of material non-public information regarding corporate and government developments, and the effectiveness of the firm's insider trading controls and information barriers. When you take a look at this language in the 10Q right here, it seems like there's going to be a massive crackdown on Wall Street, and that's exactly what we have seen the statements be from the Department of Justice after this Bill Huang situation has come out as well. He's facing, I think, a 380 years in prison right now. There are other funds that we've talked about that are absolutely capitulating. Tiger Global is having issues. I believe they're down about 44% on the year. We have Melvin Capital having absolute disasters as well. And kind of going off of that as well with that Tiger Global Bill Huang situation, Goldman Sachs was also kind of listed as a defendant in one of these situations as well with the Archegos situation. So you can see here that there are things starting to happen on the regulation side of the market right now. Now, is this going to cause a giant squeeze for us? Probably not. Because they're not really going to come in and say, hey, you can no longer you can no longer have short positions on these stocks. But this is a really strong step in the right direction and a step forward in making sure that these things cannot really happen again and kind of making our markets what they're supposed to be, a free and fair market. The other thing that I kind of want to go over with you guys is kind of what we've been seeing with the overall just crazy volatility with the market and what's been happening to a lot of these institutions. So Nomura actually had some comments on this. I'm talking full-blown Game of Thrones Red Wedding style liquidation death. That's not something that you really want to hear in this type of marketplace right now where there's already a lot of volatility. So we see this right here, this comment made by Nomura. And then in addition to this, we have these Bitcoin and crypto liquidations. Bitcoin liquidations lead 400 million in futures losses after the drop to 35,700. So we're seeing the effect in this market right now. And even yesterday on, I believe it was Fox Business, there was an individual on there that said that he was hearing that margin calls were going off left and right. So Again, we're seeing a lot of craziness happen in the overall market right now, but again, we are seeing AMC kind of follow with the market. Again, we've gone over this a few times on what we really need to see in order to get AMC and a couple of other of these quote-unquote meme or squeeze stocks really going back to the upside, and we do need that reversal in the overall market to start that next leg up. When are we going to see that? Well, it's kind of hard to tell. We're going to really need to see that investor confidence come back into the market. And that could happen at any time in short bursts. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.